get onto the record in a second, but a quick look at these covers, which I've quickly dug out of the box as a bit of display. That's my old nipper tray. Lovely, isn't it? That wonderful book. The Fabulous Phonograph by Roland Gellat, 1977. Right. This is a Pathé that I can play, hopefully, without being pilloried by you lot. I'm going to get on to have a go at those other Pathés that I tried to play wrongly on the gramophone some time ago. Eventually I'll try another go on the record player and have a fiddle with my mixer, see if I can get some proper sound out of them. Anyway, this is the Pathé Actuelle, which was actually made for playing on standard gramophones, and I think they were made between the sort of early 1920s up until about 1932. This one is the Plumber. It's quite a rarity. It's a monologue poem read by the great Bransby Williams.
I'm a plumber, I am, and I'm proud of my trade, and I tell you I can't understand why Kiplin should talk of his soldiers and squads when there's fellas like me in the land. I was once called from bed on a cold frosty morn for to go to the house of a toff, just to look at the tap in the scullery sink. What they said is they couldn't turn off. Well, I shoves on me clothes and I puts on me hat and I goes to the house right away to inspect this here job and see if the case is as bad as they've sent round to say. They shows me this tap that they couldn't turn off. They was right, cause I tried it to see. So I studied it like and I scratches me head and I asked what they wanted with me. The toff, he explained as he wanted it stopped. So I asked for some ink and a pen, and I makes out a list of the tools I should want, and I shoves them all down there and then. Then I goes to the shop for to fetch him along, but the wife, she was frying a chop. There was me breakfast, all tasty and nice, and the smell of it tempts me to stop. I gets through me grub and I puts on me pipe and I sits down to wait for me mate. He's a fellow what fancies own comforts like me. Well, he never gets up before 8. Well, I waits half an hour, but he don't turn up. Overslept himself, doubtless he has. So I picks up the tools and goes back to the house, and the tap was still running like mad. Well, my mate, he arrives when I sat there a bit, so he starts on the job in advice, and the boys of the tradesmen were called at the house, stands admiring and giving advice. Then we tried for to plug up the tap with a cork, but the water squirts all round the place. And the top what was just coming in at the door kicked a gallon or two in his face. He dances about in a terrible rage, and he treads on the kitten's hind leg. And the cook hears it squeal, and she faints in a heap and falls flop in a basket of eggs. By this time the water's up to our knees, and the table and chairs is afloat. The toffee yells out, "Save the women and kids!" and he runs off to borrow a boat. Then the greengrocer's boy, what's watching the scene, comes poking his nose in again, and the impudent fella says, "Hey, take my advice, just turn it off at the main."